Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. We're out here fishing outside of Houston. We're with Captain Mike from Galveston Redzone Fish Charters, and he's got us out in the bay here, and we're going to be looking for sea trout or redfish or flounder, any of those fish. And yesterday there was a cold front that had moved through here, so what I'm going to open up with today, I've got a T-turn bait rig tied on here. And what I've done is I've just hooked up with some squid. I've put some squid on, and what I like to do, I like to poke it through once and then poke it through a second time so it holds on very nicely. And as you can see, the T-turn bait rig will allow me to fish totally tangle free. And the reason I want to open up with bait is after that cold front, I'd like to see what fish are out here and what's hitting. So right now I'm going to have a slower presentation. I'm going to use this bait. And basically with this bait rig, I'm not just going to still fish, I'm going to work it. I'm going to move that bait rig, I'm going to work it back to the boat, I'm going to jig it up and down. I want to keep that bait moving, but it's going to be a subtle move, not too aggressive, because after a cold front these fish might be a little bit tentative this morning. So I'm just going to take my time and work that bait back and see if we can get into some of these southern fish. So stay tuned folks, we're looking to have a great day on the water. Okay, well, I hooked into something small right now, have no idea what it is. He's fighting decent, but we just moved spots and we oh wait a minute, it might be a, what is that? Catfish. That's a catfish. Come on, there you go, there's my first saltwater catfish.
Be careful with those.
Be careful with these, Captain Mike says.
Yeah,
they got the pinchers on them. Oh, they're just like our catfish back home. Look at that. He took the squid. See if I can get that out. You got the pliers there? Oh, I got it out. There we go. There's a nice little catfish right there. That's a good, it's a start to the day, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna get him back in there. And as you can see, I actually put a shrimp. What we did, we moved spots. I left the squid on the bottom, I put a shrimp on the top, and I had a bite earlier and you can see half the shrimp is gone, although I think I lost that shrimp on the cast. I think I lost some of that shrimp on the cast as well. So I'm gonna re-rig, I'll put some fresh squid on there and we'll give it another try. We're marking some fish in this particular spot, so hopefully we'll get into something a little bit bigger. Okay, I rigged up with 2 strips of squid, next cast in. Who knows, maybe another catfish, I have no idea, but he gave me a real good bite. And that's the thing when you're running squid or cut bait or shrimp, when you're running these live bait rigs, you never know what you're going to catch. You got an opportunity to catch anything. And I got a flounder. I have got a flounder. There we go. Captain Mike, we got a flounder. Now what's the size limit on these guys?
14.
14 inches?
Yeah, he might measure. Let me get the measuring board right here. Hang on one second.
Okay, let's measure him up. That's a nice little flounder. You see how they've got the color on the they're dark on the one side and then they're totally white on the back side. And this guy's not happy. I'm gonna measure him up. Would you say?
14.
14? Oh, he's gonna measure. He's 15 and he's over 15, so he's a keeper. So there we go, we got our first keeper flounder right there. We're gonna get this guy off the hook and we're gonna put him right in the cooler. Okay, there's another nice fish. So things are starting to happen here now with the bait rig. Okay, now there's a better hook set.
Oh, keep away from the trolling motor.
Keep away from the trolling motor, eh, Captain Mike? Okay, so we switched spots here. And Captain Mike said this is a known redfish area. So he suggested that I switch to shrimp in this particular spot. So I ended up baiting up the T-turn bait rig with a couple of shrimp, live shrimp. And I've got something a little nicer right now. So it looks like as the day is going on, it looks like the fish are getting better. But that was a real nice hit. He gave me a real good bite. I might need the net for this one. Doesn't feel like really big, Captain Mike, but he's a nicer fish. He might be net worthy. Okay, let's see what we have here. That's the thing when you're using live bait on these bait rigs, you never know what you're gonna get. Oh, and this one, it's a drum.
That's a redfish.
It's a red. Okay, we got our first red. Well, not necessarily your trophy red, but it's a start. So there's a small redfish that's not a keeper, but we're gonna put this one right back. Okay, let's get this guy back in the water. Okay, and away he goes. So, Captain Mike, couple more shrimp maybe?
Couple more shrimp.
2 more shrimp on that bait rig. We'll get her right back down there again. This one gave me a tap, 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 and I'll tell you, I'm running the braided line. But of course, as you know, I always run the fluorocarbon leader to the T-turn bait rig. But with that braided line, I could feel everything, and I'm casting out nice and far to be able to cover a lot of water. And it gave me a good bite, but I felt every single little tap. Okay, I don't know if this one's net worthy or not, but let's see what we got here now. And we got another catfish. So it looks like Captain Mike, we're getting a variety of fish, but the catfish are dominating. we got ourselves a small, we got a little redfish, we got ourselves a keeper flounder.
Yeah.
And we're getting into catfish.
Buku catfish.
So,
pliers?
Hey, at least we're having fun on the water. That's the main thing. Oh, we'll just put him back. And I'm gonna rig up, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to squid again. But you know what, when you have a cold front condition, you know, get yourself some live bait or cut bait and work the waters, work it slowly, slow down the presentation. You'll still catch fish, it's just a little bit of a tougher bite. That's what we have today, but we're having fun out here in the state of Texas with Captain Mike Blanco, and I want to thank you ever so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck, good fishing.